It's Face to Face, where we talk to entrepreneurs about their journey and all its ups and downs. Today we'll be talking to the co-founders of LOOOP, Adani and Emma, about their journey. Let's go! Hi! Hello!
Hello! How are you? Hello, you.
Hello! How are you guys doing today?
Good. It's our off day. Store is closed. Lots to do. We're brainstorming for 2026 today.
Amazing! So congratulations on the opening of the second store.
Thank you.
Before that, can you let us know how the LOOOP's journey began and how is it going nowadays?
Do you want to kick us off?
Okay. Basically, how Loop began is kind of a mix of different factors. I think for me personally, I wanted to sell some of my clothes that had come through from a previous relationship. I wanted to keep myself anonymous. I didn't want to go through the hassle of listing things online and then going back and forth with inquiries and then doing postage. And so an answer to my prayers would have been what Loop is today, kind of a one-stop shop for you to drop off your items, remain anonymity, and have your clothes rehomed. I think, Bae and Dani, if you wanted to talk about your personal whys.
Sure. I think for me, my why in starting Loop was obviously working as a content creator. We do a lot of ads for brands. And from there, I could see the amount of waste that was generated, not just in the fashion industry, but across every brand basically out there is making something new. And what we lacked was systems that keep all these things that are being created in circulation. Because oftentimes when we're done with it, it still has many lives that it can live. And so that's where I think when we landed on Loop, it was really nice to, I think, all agree on this mission-driven business. Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay, I'll share mine. So my whole family loves to secondhand shop. We all love to go to bundle, thrift, MCOT Mall, pawn shop, so everything. And I think I struggled to find the items that I really like, which is just everyday wear or just gowns to go to a wedding or whatever. And Loop is now my favorite place to shop.
Yeah. Woo.
Okay.
So,
Oh, how's it going now?
yeah.
We're 3 years as one store. I think we celebrated our 3rd birthday in May of this year. And then last month, we opened our second outlet in SS18, Subang Jaya. That's how it's going.
That's great. Okay. A little bit of a reflection thing. So, what would you wish? What is something you wish you could tell yourself when you started Loop? What advice do you have for yourself?
I think when we started, we would be super shocked to know we now have 2 stores. I think that's something super wild. I think.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thought?
We didn't even know if one store could work.
Yeah, so it's quite quite surreal to be here at 3 years with the first store and just having a second store. So yeah, I think we would tell us when we're starting to just hang on there.
Yeah, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be great.
That's cool. Can you start us off with if you don't mind sharing? Can you let us know how was it like looking for funds, start off the store? How did you 3 manage?
All 3 of us bounced between some full-time experience and also freelance work. And I think when we were starting off Loop, I think Dani was leaving a full-time job. I was going from one full-time job and freelancing, and Bae was freelancing. So kind of a mishmash of all of that. But funding for the first store was really just our own savings and just taking extra job in our spare time to make that work. I think going from 0 to 1 is a bit more doable. I think the additional store, we did have a bit of help in funding from a friend, just a loan. We're still not looking for direct investor type funding yet. I think we're still keeping it quite close knit. Is it hard to find funding? I think the answer is yes and no.
Okay.
We're obviously very privileged to even have the opportunity to freelance, to have job opportunities come in, to have our services be something in demand. So in that sense, it worked out for us, and maybe it was easy for us. But I would say, in general, I think the answer is it's hard.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the challenges as well. So, what are the biggest challenges you have faced together? And what do you think is the biggest challenge in the slow fashion circular industry in general?
Ooh, I would say two parts of that question. So first challenge is challenge to us. I think external challenges, of course, you have the fact that everybody believes clothes should be as cheap as possible, as fast as possible, and obviously as trendy as possible. And obviously we don't believe in that at Loop. And so a big challenge is fighting against this mindset that I think a lot of Malaysians still have, that new is better. We believe that seconds come first. We didn't come up with that, but seconds come first. And I think internally the challenge is that a lot of people still view us as a place to just get rid of clothes that they no longer want. And they don't subscribe to this full loop of selling their clothes here and then also shopping here. So those are some of the challenges. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, slow fashion industry in Malaysia. I think to that question, I think a big challenge is definitely that Malaysia is so diverse and we've got so many different communities of people. And unfortunately, everybody has a different starting point for their understanding of slow fashion. And so there's not really just one way of doing sustainable activism or like trying to educate people about sustainability, because the reality is that you need to be able to speak so many different languages and get into those communities to really meet them where they're at. And I think education starts there. And so that will take a little bit of time, but we are hopeful that, people, more and more people are starting to shop secondhand. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I think that in general, we kind of covered the slow fashion movement in Malaysia. You've mentioned before that what makes Loop Loop is community. So, do you have any tips on how you guys foster community? And how can local businesses learn from that?
Danny, you want to go?
Sure. We have a lot of FaceTime with our customers. So the three of us definitely love to chit chat with all of them, whether it's consigners, customers that comes in, they're tourists or regulars. We ask them about their day, and they kind of always lean into us. And from there, you can just garner a organic relationship with them. Yeah.
Cool.
Do you want to add?
Not really. I think, at the end of the day, I think the way we view community is that it's definitely a buzzword that's going around. I think all businesses want to have community these days, but the reality is that I think there are no shortcuts to community. And the reality is that as founders, we do have to spend time here. We do still work shifts at each store. And that is a very important part of, I think, getting to know our community. And obviously, we're also incredibly blessed with a team that knows our regulars by name and knows their birthdays even sometimes, which we think is so impressive. But that, I think, we hope comes from fostering a culture here that, we want our team to also enjoy showing up and enjoy meeting the people who spend time at Loop.
100%. Speaking of your team, do you all have any tips or tricks when it comes to like manpower? Because a lot of businesses also face the issue with like sustaining manpower and like what do you have any tips or tricks when it comes to that?
I was going to say that we need tips and tricks, but I think my additional follow-up would be that you, at the end of the day, I do believe you track what you put out. And everybody that has crossed paths with Loop has been like a loopy, and like it's I think that has made it so much easier.
Yeah, a lot of our team members now are also shoppers and customers of Loop, so they understand what we do. They love what we do clearly because they buy into what we're trying to do here as a platform, and so that's certainly helped us. But I think as new-ish employers, we could definitely be on the receiving end of advice.
That's fair. Besides talking about community, can you tell us in regards of like putting Loop out there? So in terms of marketing, what sort of marketing do you do, or what sort of education do you do? How do you do your outreach per se?
I think I think over the years we've definitely realized that a major hurdle to shopping secondhand is that there is only one of each piece. And so sometimes for people who struggle with styling and understanding, like, oh, how will I pair this with something else to make it work? We realize that that's what's kind of lacking in the secondhand space, because there's only one of each piece. You don't have a lookbook, you don't have a campaign shoot. And so that's where our team in store, I think, has really helped. We try to do content, styling content, to show people how things can be kind of paired together to make an outfit. And I think our audience does appreciate that. We do have a lot of people who have maybe, never tried baggy jeans before and decided to give it a try because they saw it online. And I think stuff like that really does kind of guide our way of sharing. At the end of the day, I think we approach marketing as really just wanting people to know what they're missing out on when they don't come to the store. And so we really just want to showcase the great pieces we have in store, the great people we have in store, and hope that the FOMO it induces in them makes them come to the store. Yes.
For sure. So like styling and showing people how to wear certain pieces and inspire them that way.
Yes.
Love that. Okay, and one more before we go for a little short break is how important it is for Loop to have both in-store and online options available.
So when we decided to build Loop, it was a no-brainer that it should be physical. We love the in-store experience where people walk in, browse, feel, touch, smell even. And the overall experience just matters to us. I think the three of us also came from an events background. It's just a no-brainer. But eventually, you want to kick off with online?
Yes, eventually there were inquiries from certain people out of state, even out of country. We get a lot of customers from especially Penang and Singapore who are interested in purchasing some of our items. And so we decided, okay, we shouldn't close ourselves off to obviously like new opportunities and new customers. We'd love to physically be in these states and countries one day, but for now, if they're happy to take measurements online, that's what we do, and then we do postage.
And I just wanted to add that I think being physical was so important to us because we really feel that at the heart of this issue on fashion waste comes from buyer's regret. You buy something and you regret it, and now this piece has nowhere to go. It's brand new with tags. We have consigners come and tell us all the time, all of my clothes that I have to sell are brand new with tags. And that doesn't mean anything to us because it's really not a flex because it goes to show that piece was not loved.
Or not considered when you bought it.
Not considered when you bought it. And so for us in our physical space, especially now at SS18, like we spent, we made sure that we had big fitting rooms that people could comfortably try things on because we believe that the less people regret the purchases they make, the longer these pieces are going to live in their wardrobes and be appreciated in their wardrobes. And so, we're not trying to guilt people or kind of scam you into buying something that you don't really like because we believe that at the end of the day, you should love what you bring home and you should love what you have in your closet. And so that's why the physical experience, when you get to touch something, you get to feel how it feels on your body. Hopefully that leads to better purchases and better decision making. Yeah.
Nice. So low-key fighting against like fast fashion and people impulse buying online.
Yeah. Correct.
Great. So we'll do a little game intermission.
Ooh, let's go.
So it's this or that. Feel free to elaborate if you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine as well. Okay, so first one, go viral on social media or go slow and steady through word of mouth.
Slow and steady through
Word of mouth.
Okay.
We've had one tiny viral experience.
It was like a baby viral.
It was a baby viral. It wasn't even a real viral. But I think
it wasn't even from us. It was I think we had a very lovely customer come in. She made a really lovely video when I started to climb up in the views on TikTok, and the next day we were like, whoa, what happened? Because we just had a storm come through the store. I think sometimes like people maybe view secondhand fashion and they feel, because it's cheap, you can do whatever, but we are very much we respect the clothes in store kind of store. And so we were not having it that weekend when people were just like throwing clothes everywhere, and we were like, whoa.
Yeah.
And that customer was so sweet because she actually came back a couple days after. She was like, I actually took down the video because like I didn't want you guys to have to deal with that. We were like, oh, yeah, thank you.
Word of mouth is great.
Tell your friends.
There's more context. I think there's more context. Going viral, you see snippets and then you're just like, oh, nice. But it's like 1 second flashes and it doesn't really
And I think
There's no context,
the
yeah.
virality of the internet is kind of similar to fast fashion. You're not getting all the context. You're making a quick decision based off of like just something you quickly saw online. And like, yeah, just so much better to go through word of mouth when people take the time to be invested in us. And I think that's where your community is built from.
Love that. Okay. Simple fashion questions. Bright colors versus current trend earth tones, black and white.
Oh, bright colors.
Contrary to today's contrary to today's outfit,
I love all colors, but if I had to
Exactly.
pick, then only bright colors.
I think if I had to pick, also only bright colors.
I would choose earthy tones.
Lovely.
We still love you.
No, we need a range. We need a range. Okay. Next, big slouchy bag versus mini bag.
I've got 2 big slouchy bags right now. I think I constantly have about 3 big slouchy bags on me at all times. Everything goes in there.
not a
A
small
work
bag,
bag. My handbag is pretty much an everyday bag that has everything from like socks to scrunchies to Panadol to whatever lah.
Everything. fits.
Everything. And then there's always a gym bag or an overnight bag because I go from like my boyfriends to my sisters to my mom, so whatever. Yeah, that's me.
Actually, I think I can speak for all three of us. We are neither. What we are, we're 3 bag people.
Yes.
We're not a slouchy bag person or a mini bag person. We're we're 3 bag people. Yes, you have a smaller bag that goes in your bigger bag, and then you have another bag that maybe you leave in the car when
Yep.
you only need your other 2 bags.
Correct.
That's the answer.
Yeah, neither. 3 bag people.
All, 3 bags, constantly on the go.
Constantly 3
One
bag
bag for every occasion.
Correct.
Love that. Simple Malaysian question: tea or coffee?
Tea or kopi, right?
Teh or kopi? Yeah.
Tea.
Really?
I love a latte, but if this question is
Okay.
tea or kopi,
Teh or
then
kopi?
Oh yeah. Teh tarik. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Simple. Lastly, island or highland holiday. So like beachy or like in the mountains.
I think we're
Definitely
all
island.
island.
Okay. Love that.
Yeah, we're due for one.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right.
Cute. I love your this or that questions. I thought they were so fun to read through.
Yeah.
Yay. I'm glad. I want to make it a little relevant as well, a little fashionista, a little.
So fun.
Yeah. All right. Now we'll go back to some of the questions. So did the 3 of you ever had like a we did it moment or like any point in time where you felt like you guys are running a successful business?
I think we never feel like we're at a we did it moment, but we've definitely had milestones along the way where we have surprised ourselves or our community has surprised us. I think our 3rd birthday this year was very heartwarming. I think we had one of our biggest sales day in a single day, which we didn't expect. We really thought that would come from our festive seasons like Raya or but it was like the biggest sales day at that point that we've ever had, and people showed up. They brought gifts, they brought flowers, they brought cake, they stayed for cake, they sang happy birthday to the store. It was very, 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 very touching. That's when we really felt like, oh, we really do have a community, a meaningful community that show up in many different ways. Anything else?
I think the other day we realized that over 40,000 pieces of clothes have gone through our stores, and that
Yeah.
was pretty mind-blowing. I think I think the community aspect is definitely one side of it, but obviously on the business side of things, we want to be a successful business that does achieve our goal of rehoming pieces, and I think it's nice every year to realize that we do that, and we do divert a lot of pieces from going to the landfill or pieces that would have otherwise not have anywhere to go. Like, it's really nice to know that those pieces have been looped.
Lovely. How do y'all celebrate your little wins or your big wins?
I think we love hosting parties, you know, for us to be putting up a poster, come celebrate our birthday with us. That was pretty cool actually. People did come and celebrate with us, and research people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the more people that comes in and celebrate with us, I think that's how we cherish those moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had our very first team retreat this year, recently, I think at the start of the month. We've never had like a full retreat. We have had, year-end Christmas dinners. It's always nice to thank our team and exchange gifts and reflect together. The team retreat was a really nice bonding experience and a real treat, I think, for the existing team. Yeah.
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 I've got nothing to add.
Okay.
Cute. Next, tell me about your favorite memories or your favorite part of this 3-year journey.
I think I can speak for all three of us. We have so many favorite parts. I think anytime we're on shift, getting to meet the people who shop in the store, whether that's like multi-generational families, we always get like grandmothers, mothers, daughters all coming in to shop together. That always is like so wonderful. We get big groups of friends. We get a lot of people who tell us they've never shopped secondhand before. So this is their first time. That's always so crazy to hear, because I think for us that's really what the goal was, but like you can never force somebody to shop secondhand, so it's always nice to hear that we are achieving what we set out to achieve. And yeah, I think those have all been really great moments. That's what it is for me, at least. I know birthday is definitely a big one. Another big one for me is I don't know if you can see it in the angle of the video, but this bunting that we've got hanging behind us was actually made by a customer. She made one for this store out of upcycled fabrics, and then when we opened SS18, she made one for that store too, and that still blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I think as a business owner, to receive that, not even receive that personally, but for my shop to be the one to receive it, and our girls, our team was on shift, and they know her, and I think that's so lovely. Like, I think that's so nice that grew without me being involved, but it came out of the business existing, which I think is always really nice when the business grows beyond your own circle. Yeah.
Yeah. I think even though we are a retail store, we love when we have little moments that we kind of function as a third space. People use Loop as a meetup point to see their friends and then have a little day together, or sometimes bump into people that they know here, and that's always nice. Sometimes,
After work.
yeah, after work. I think it's nice that they feel that they can unwind here, chill here, have a relaxing time here. I think with other secondhand options, sometimes I think people have told us or expressed to us that sometimes they have like decision fatigue because there's just so much, and sometimes just like the sheer volume of you like not being able to see everything kind of is overwhelming. So it's nice that we are, I guess, a calm-ish platform or space for them. It's nice to receive DMs to say like, oh my God, that's my dress. Like, love seeing it on somebody new when we repost stories. Yeah, a lot of moments that make up the big picture.
Yeah, I think the reality is that like people wear their clothes every day, and so there's always something. There's like always something to be like, wow, somebody who wore a dress and she got engaged, or like she got married, or like, wow, I remember this dress. And,
Oh
like,
yes, every time we have a Loop bride,
that's crazy.
that's crazy. That's crazy. Because
like,
brides always
yeah.
custom or rent or buy new.
And so every time there's a bride trusting and like deciding to go secondhand, that's always so awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Lovely. Can you guys tell us more about why you decide to function as a consignment-based store rather than the typical secondhand
That's a good question.
store?
I think consignment is very personal. Yeah, that's what I start with. I feel like through consignment we know your pieces, we also know you, we meet you. It's not so transactional where it's just like, here's some money, give us your clothes. I think
see you ever again.
yeah, like I think, I don't take it lightly that there are clothes from over like 300 people in this store right now, and that we're responsible to each of those people if anything happens to their clothes. Like, that's not something I take
it's
lightly.
returned to them at the end of their cycle. None of this belongs to us. On consignment, things never belong to the store. Yeah.
Yeah, which is why sometimes, you can pick up a dress that's like maybe 30 ringgit at Loop and it's just from Zara or something. But to us, we're like, okay, I know who brought this in. I know she wore it for her first date when, to her now husband or whatever. And like, clothes carry so much more than we give them credit for, I think. But we really do appreciate the pieces that come in. And I think why consignment, it's because, yeah, it's just nice to know where your pieces came from, to appreciate things more than just like a like grab and go, wear one time, never wear again kind of thing. Like we get so many pieces that come through here that have been loved by like grandmothers, passed down to daughters, and then passed, gone through all of that. And so it's nice to hear those stories, which I think sometimes you do miss out on when you just do traditional buy and sell, because it's much more transactional.
Lovely. What does a day in the life look like as an entrepreneur or like co-founders? I know it could be very different, but maybe perhaps choose like a general outline of what your day looks like.
Benny should reply.
Definitely.
Every day looks so different. One day you could just open the store, clean up the toilet, and then the next you could be steaming. Whoop. And then you could be getting into meetings, talking to brands.
What were you gonna say? I was gonna say the next day you're repping your brand for a Prestige 40 or
yeah.
40 or whatever. Like you're like dressed in like Bottega.
I was going to say something completely different.
Like suddenly you're here being interviewed by TRAXXfm, you know?
Yeah. I think to illustrate this, let each of us give you an example of something crazy that's happened in the last 6 months. Mine is when I was driving home and then somebody texted in the group, guys, I think there is a rat dead in our roof.
Oh yeah.
That was the craziest part of my year. And then we had to call pest control at 6 p.m. on a random day, and then they came and removed a giant dead rat from our roof.
Yeah.
What's yours? You're 40 under 40.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the complete other end of the spectrum is that I think there's no denying that we hold ourselves to a certain standard, and I think we believe that what we do is very important. And I think because of that, maybe we have garnered some traction online and through publications and through media. And so I think this year, it wasn't Prestige. Is it Prestige? It was Prestige. Okay, so
Was it this year? Last year.
oh, was it last year?
Last year.
But the complete end of the spectrum is that they listed the three of us as Prestige 40 under 40, and we went in to do a full glam shoot. Like maybe it's every day for Bae. It's not every day for me and Dani.
was like,
Full
let's go,
glam.
guys.
They're dressed as in like Bottega. Yeah, so that's the complete other end of the spectrum for us.
You really do everything.
We really do everything.
Yeah, I think especially because we are a physical store, I think people who maybe only run an online business, maybe that completely functions differently. But I mean, running a physical business, man, you're open every day. You are open every day, which means that there's always
Even
something.
when we're closed today, we're in the store today. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's just
this.
always something. Because it's a physical store, it's always like now. Everything's always happening now. I remember like a random Saturday doing something, and then somebody called and was like, one of the railings just collapsed in store.
Just fell out of the wall.
And I was like, okay, canceled my entire Saturday and like had to come here and deal with that. And I think like that's a perfect picture of like, what does it mean to be an entrepreneur?
So being an entrepreneur,
Having
chaotic,
having a child.
having a child, your child's sick, you gotta come here.
Yes,
Yes,
you gotta
and now we've got 2
firefight.
children.
But you get recognized as well for your hard work, so that must also feel really nice.
Yes.
The three of you have been working together for at least 3 years now, at least. So how do you guys complement each other? And any advice for finding a good co-founder or business partner?
So we've been working together for 5 years actually. We've met as colleagues at our previous company. So for that question, we didn't find each other. We just stumbled upon a workplace. Yeah.
I think we got really lucky.
I
I think we got really lucky to find each other. Just naturally through what Dani was saying, through work. I think because we met as colleagues, then your boundaries are kind of already there. You're working, what is that? Your working dynamic. Yes, correct. Is also already there. So we were just incredibly lucky. I think our advice maybe would be to like pursue more of your passions, more of your interests, because you might meet your future business partner through doing that. Because I think we were all very passionate about that job that we worked. And that helps.
Okay, a little backstory. The three of us, yes, did work for an events company, and now we're doing LOOP. And those two things don't really, like, you don't really think that they are this one and the same. I think when all three of us had left the company or were on our way out, we talked about all the things that we are interested in and all the things that we could possibly do, because we're girls and there's a lot of things that all girls like. We like fashion, we like skincare, we like magazines. There's so many things. But finding this like ikigai Venn diagram of like a business that was sustainable from a business point of view, but like sustainable from a sustainability point of view, was also fashion and was also our interest, was something that the three of us were, I guess, already not champions of, but we already did in our own lives. We were already wearing hand-me-downs. We were already going secondhand shopping. We were already shopping on Carousel or listing on Carousel. Like all those things culminated for us.
And I think that's the reality though. Sorry, this is so off topic, but like,
Go ahead.
I just feel like what you said is so true. Like, we are not really your picture perfect champions of sustainable fashion. Like, I wouldn't say we are the most outspoken. I wouldn't say we're the most knowledgeable. But I do think that moving forward into the future, you basically need everybody to care a little bit. And not everybody's going to be perfect at doing things sustainably, but you need everybody to care a little bit. And I think that's where, for us, Loop really like comes into that, because we're not saying never buy anything for yourself ever again. We're not saying like never have anything nice, but I think about the intention of like why you want that thing, where you're going to get that thing from, and realize that you do have better options out there, and we just want to be one of those better options. Yes.
Love that. Clapping the slate for me. So trying better than not trying at all. Some effort in the right direction is better than nothing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't start because they believe that they can't do it at 100%. And so I think encouraging people to start, even if you can do 10% or 20%, or maybe your baju raya next year is secondhand, you know, like, I don't know. But you can start somewhere. Yeah.
Fun one. So you were mentioning like you guys brainstorm a lot of ideas. Can we have some of that ideas?
Oh, like future ideas?
Yeah, future ideas, or like what you previously brainstormed. I remember you mentioning a magazine.
Yeah, there's so many things.
Yeah, the thing was it. We at one point we wanted to be not maybe a media, maybe. I don't know if
media.
it's like, yeah, like I don't know if it's like
A media company.
physical
We wanted to have
or
a
online.
podcast.
Yeah. Dani is a walking directory, and so we always said that we should. Yeah, we should always turn that into something, because we also are the type of people who love exploring new places, new things to do in KL. Yeah. But future plans for Loop per se, maybe a third store.
A third store.
Yeah, maybe.
Can we have any hints on where that would be?
I think we would love to conquer the other side of town, Ampang. We're looking at you.
Yeah.
Well, Emma's looking at you specifically.
Yeah, I grew up in Ampang, so I'd love to have a Loop in Ampang. All my school friends are from Cheras and Ampang, and they have to come out to Damansar Kim or Subang Jaya to shop in my
So
store.
our Ampang girlies, let us know if you find a spot that is fit for us.
Or tell the people that you know that Loop would be a great fit and that you should give them really good rent.
There we go.
I mean,
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for any entrepreneurs looking into starting something similar, or like maybe venturing into the secondhand fashion business?
We always love to tell people to come and try. It is, we feel it's a bit of a thankless job. It's so fulfilling to us, but it is a lot of labor. It is a lot of education. It is a lot of pushing the needle. And we'd love to have more friends in the industry. We'd love to have more options for other people. We'd love to have more people kind of sing the same tune and share within their audiences that might be completely different to ours to start shopping secondhand. Yeah.
And last but not least, I would like everyone to share what is your motto or mindset when it comes to like being an entrepreneur, or like your day-to-day mindset.
Oh, okay, personal.
Yeah.
Personal mindset.
What's your motto?
Go ahead.
Too much reflection. Year end.
I think that's just it. Doing things with intention. it's still like doing Loop has its North Star, like rehoming pieces and doing it intentionally, communicate with people. That's it. Sorry if I stole yours.
No, it's okay. I think yes, we all have like our North Star, our why. At least when it comes to Loop, everything comes back to why we started this. Personally, I think I've definitely in the last couple of years, we do kind of other work as well sometimes. Like our one store didn't pay all the bills for all three of us, and so I think to lean on my partners, I think was something I have done, continue to do, and I think have to remind myself to constantly open myself up to ask for help or give context to what I'm going through personally, because I think our lives are so intertwined that way. Work and friendship and all of that has to come with a balance and an openness. Yeah, I think that is my reflection for this year as a co-founder, particularly in this trio.
Cool. I think I will wrap that up with, I think it's not really a motto, but I think I've come to learn in the 3 years of doing this with you guys that I think anything that any one of us has ever suggested or brought up, like, oh, maybe we should do this, I think we've always been like, Ken. And I think it's, like Emma always says, Ken is Ken. But I do genuinely feel that everything we have done with Loop, when it's the three of us putting in 100%, Ken is Ken. Like, I have no doubts on that. And yeah, that's my reflection. I always feel like when we put 100% in, we can do whatever we want to do. Yeah, and that's why there's so many things we want to do.
And we can't wait to see everything that you guys do.
Yay.
Thank you so much for talking to
Thank
me
you,
today.
Mel.
It was
Thank
lovely
you,
to
Mel.
talk to
Mel
these
used to work for
lovely
Loop.
my
Mel is a
ex-bosses and
Loopie.
all the lovely co-founders of Loop. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just had a lovely chit chat with the co-founders of Loop, Bei, Adani, and Emma, about their journey, their why, and the community they've built. I hope you learned a little bit more about what it takes to be an entrepreneur today. See you.